Alright, so what I'm doing is this is my 56 Chevy. I haven't played with it in a long time. I've had school and work and life and everything else. But I'm finally getting to it, and this is the passenger side. It looks like crap because I had it sitting outside, and this is all brand new metal, so it's just got surface rust and crap in it. But this is the big thing. This was my big section of rust. The driver's side is actually solid. I've got my grill sitting in there, and that's the step that goes right here. But this whole lower A-pillar and door pocket were completely rusted out. So I had to replace all of it. So this is the first piece that goes in. Then I have this guy that fits in over everything. If I can do this. I know this is crappy film work. I will try and get better at this. So it goes in and welds to that. Then the last piece, which is floating around here somewhere, wraps around the front and up to here. And that holds everything together. Now, I'm wanting to... Yeah, I've got this guy welded in top and bottom to hold it in place, because without that, the whole thing dropped down like a ½ inch. But I've got to get this done so that way the cab is stable, so I can unbolt it from the frame. Now, the frame has a Camaro clip welded underneath it, and I want to clean all of that up and make it look better. I've got some more welding to do. So I've got to get the body off of the cab. Well, before I can get the body off, I need to put in my brake pedal. So I've got a swing set to go through the firewall. And then I've got to get my steering column lined up, because my steering column, you see where it is? Well, it goes down like it was going into the factory steering column. I'm going to tip that up so that way the steering column will be more pointed towards the driver, and I have an aftermarket column. I would really like to use this one, but I want to drive my truck. I'm tired of this. I've been wasting time and dragging ass, and I really want to drive my truck. So I got an aftermarket column, or I should say my lovely wife got it for me for Christmas, and I'm going to tilt it up to point it more towards the Camaro steering, because I have a 78 Z28 front clip underneath it. So that way it'll make it easier for the steering to go in. But I've got to get the brakes on first. So I've got to get those two done on this thing so I can get the cab off. So those got to get done, but before any of that, this has to get done so that way this cab doesn't move around on me. So the cab's the most expensive part. The rest of it, like the bed sides, the rear fenders, stuff like that, the body work, I can replace the entire bed with brand new panels from LMC. Yeah, they're not original, they're aftermarket, but I can replace those for less than $1,000 pretty much. Like the fenders, I believe they're like $360, let's say. I think it was like $357 with shipping. And, you know, so to combine, that's like $600. Then the bed sides were like $250 a piece. The front panel's $150. I don't remember how much the tailgate is, but like $1,000. And then the fronts are almost the same thing. Well, the cab's $10,000 for a decent one. Well, as far as these things go, I mean, this is where they usually rust out, and you can see I do have a little bit of surface bubbling in here, but nothing too awful bad. I am going to undercoat everything, and I am going to rust proof everything. But I'm going to go through all of this and make sure that there's nothing nasty underneath there. But comparatively to most trucks, this is solid. So, and this is an original Washington State farm truck. What I think happened here, actually what I know happened here, is we have dug fir trees all over the place. Well, the dug fir trees got into the vent right in front of the windshield, and it packed up the A-pillars on both sides, and you can see where that comes out right here. This guy, I actually bent him up, but he comes back, folds down, and there should be a couple of little rivets right there, or excuse me, screws. and you just have this little triangle that they come out and hit the fender, drop down to the ground. Well, when that happens and this thing all gets plugged up, it starts rusting out everything in the A-pillars. Well, this guy, kind of hard to see, so there's a vent here, right? So when it gets plugged up down here, it comes out this vent. So you get water coming out of this vent. Then there's this little panel right here that I'm touching. And I've actually bent him up because the bottom of him's all rusted out. But he covers the backs. Let me see if I can do this. I know you're probably dizzy. The backs of the hinge pockets inside of the A-pillar. So it'll run down here, it'll rust out the floor, it'll run down in here, and it'll rust out all of this. So that's why I've got to replace all of this. So that's what happens here in Washington, is those pine needles kick your butt. Well, so, but yeah, this is an original Chevrolet heater and defroster. Those are hard to come by. I know there's a bunch of other aftermarket ones. This is a factory original one, but I don't have the deluxe heater package. I just have, you know, you can switch this guy to blow on your feet or blow up through the defroster, and that's about it. There's another vent here for your feet. I guess that one and this one are for the driver's side. I don't know. But then up here is your defrost, and then you have a knob up there. I don't know if I'm going to keep that. You don't need AC really, you know, really bad up here in Washington, but it might be nice. But then on the other hand, to have a rare old piece of equipment that was factory to this truck would be kind of cool to hold on to. So we'll see what happens. I don't know yet, but at any rate, that's my update. Thanks for watching. Bye.